Hey, Life Groups, this is Pastor Joel here, and I can't believe it. It's week 6, the final week of this session of Life Groups, and so I know for my groups, it's been a really, really just blessed time of hanging out and fellowshipping together, worshiping together, and just talking about God's Word. It's just always so good, so encouraging. I find just so needed, and just such a refreshing time right in the middle of our week to get together. And so I'm always sad to see a session end. We get 4-week break, and then we're going to be coming back just mid-August. August 16th, we'll start Life Groups up again. And so I'm excited for that to happen. And that'll be leading up into August 31st, which will be our Life Group Halloween outreaches. We're going to have 4 of them this year, 4 different front yard parties around the community. And so I'm really excited about these. We're doing them a little differently this year, and that I'm really putting the ball more in the court of you guys, in your guys' court, to run these outreaches, to do the shopping, to think about how are we going to promote this, how are we going to give this to community. So certainly, we'll create flyers for you. You guys will have a budget for food and for signage and all that sort of stuff. We'll provide the bounce houses and the machines, of course, and candy and all that kind of stuff. But so we'll equip you with those things. But I really want your life groups to get together and think about how you can reach your communities. And that's actually a big talking point tonight in your questions. Your last question specifically talks about how you can be salt and light in your communities. And this is really a next step that I would love our life groups to start making. Some of you guys have even had Tony and Nick come out to your life groups, so you may be having them tonight to talk about kind of our follow-up for the Halloween outreaches and how we're going to reach those people who we might be able to talk to and invite on those nights. And that's all part of us being salt and light to our communities. How can God start using your life group, not to just come together and fellowship week after week? We've gotten good at that, but how are we going to start stepping out and serving? And not even just serving the local church, but start, reaching our communities. On the back doors back here, it says, now entering the mission field. And then here in the front stage, I'm looking at it right now, equipping people to be passionate servants of Jesus Christ. This sanctuary, this church, this body, and even within your life groups, it's places where we're equipped to go do the work of the ministry. If you read the book of Acts, it's not all of the real ministry happening inside the church. It's happening on the streets. And that's the heart that I want to give to you guys as life groups. Start thinking about your communities. Start thinking about hosting maybe some type of dinner party or a barbecue, something at one of your houses, and inviting the whole neighborhood, inviting non-believers around you. Think of, do you have any Boo Radleys in your neighborhood, just those outcasts, those shut-ins, who you can start reaching and just seeing, what can you do for them? Why are they shut-ins? What are their needs? How can you reach them for the gospel? Think about different needs of maybe families in the church that you know about, or missionaries on the field. Think of so many missionaries who just have very specific financial things. A few of our, national guys in South Asia need cell phones, for example. Their cell phones broke, and so, they need to purchase those and say, hey, we can take on, if we pull together as a group, maybe we can meet some of these financial needs, or our missionaries or families in the church or whoever it might be. Just start thinking outside the box of how the Lord may be able to use your group specifically to reach your community, to serve those who just need to see and feel the love of Christ. Be salt and light in your communities. As we talked about Sunday, in the midst of an unrighteous world, we can be a beacon of righteousness. And not just outward moral righteousness, but these biblical principles of righteousness and doing good things and loving the world that leads straight to the gospel. Because that's what we're getting at. We're getting at the gospel of Jesus Christ to get that message out to people. And so I love you guys. I hope you're stirred by these things. I hope you enjoy this last week of this session of life groups together, and that you can really start putting your heads together about how you guys are going to do these Halloween outreaches. I'll be communicating more with your leaders about budgets and plans and things like that. But I really want you guys to start thinking and wrapping your minds around that. How's the Lord going to use me? How's he going to gift me and use me? How's the Spirit going to fall upon me? For that night to be used, for his glory. So I love you guys. Have a great night.